Hi novice traders, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually going through my journal for the week of trading. Now it's actually my first week back since blowing my last account, and let's just say it did not go well.
I honestly just feel like throwing in the towel. For today. Yeah, no, like just in general. Like I just feel like I'm just look at my account. What? That's USD, so that's almost 1500. I feel like I get worse and worse because I'm like, I want my account back up because again I'm flat. I'm break even. It's like my worst like nightmare is being break even. Yeah. I know it sounds so like simple when you say that. But when you're emotional, it's like
Yeah, but what are you like telling yourself in those moments when you know that you're clearly risking too much when you're entering a trade or putting too
I think I'm too busy
trades on?
negative self-talking to. Yeah, it's just it's my mentality right now. It's not good, and I think I'm just seeing like so many trade opportunities on the short side. I was just long biased today too. I just feel like a degenerate. I just feel like a degenerate. Why? Because I'm just falling into the traps that everybody does, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You're a degenerate.
Hey?
What?
My first day back, I decided that I was going to record myself, and I was super emotional. I lost half the account the first day and basically dwindled it the rest of the week. It was definitely a hard week to come back. I think I was just a little bit out of it, a little bit, I guess, keen to trade, and therefore my risk management wasn't there. My mentality wasn't there. I just was not in the right mindset for this week at all. But I would still really like to kind of share how I journal my trades, what I've said in them, what I was looking at when I was journaling my trades, and hopefully someone finds it helpful. And if somebody is maybe more experienced than me, please leave a comment down below, because I would love to kind of hear your feedback so I can improve, so we can kind of share things, and hopefully we can just, I guess, become profitable together, because I definitely wasn't this week. Alright guys, so this is my trading journal here. As you can see, again, that first day was shocking for me. I was emotional. I wanted to just, I was over trading, obviously, just trying to get a trade on camera because it's the first time that I was recording myself trade. I hadn't traded in ages too, so I kind of just came into this day guns blazing, wasn't following my plans, just wanted to get a good trade in, and it obviously backfired, as you can see. So if you can kind of tell, I was definitely biased at some points. As you can see, I'm just taking long after long here. Yeah, it was just a horrible trade, but I'll kind of go through each trade a little bit. I might cut some of these out just because it's going to be a lengthy video, but at least we can kind of get a bit of an idea on how things were through this day. So let's just make sure the trade's actually showing on here. Like straight off the bat, I was going long on a bull flag here. I think I was just trying to catch like a big reversal off this one. Not too sure, but I can see here this trade was an easily avoidable loss if I focused on price action. So obviously price action was the bull flag. Sorry, bear flag. So I should have really been going short here, but I wasn't. I was getting wrapped up obviously in the footprint chart. So something I've noticed is with my footprint charts, sometimes I'm getting absorbed by all the ticks that are happening on the chart that I'm just not actually focused on what the price action is telling me. Something that I've noticed is I should be focusing on price action and then use the footprint chart more so for an entry. So yeah, something to consider for people out there. So price was on a pullback. I noticed that volume was dropping on a pullback, but the volume normally will spike at the end. So that was kind of a signal that it could continue downwards there. So like obviously with the highest point of price returning to a point of control before continuing. So if we pop down to obviously my screenshot of my footprint chart here, you can actually see there was an area, I guess point of control is what I've written down there. You can see it comes back up. If we have a look at the volume's dropping, and then it obviously spikes here. And then that could have triggered me into going, there's absorption here, sellers are starting to step in. So selling rather than essentially going long, right? I actually redo it here. So you can see I've actually pointed to that area, going the absorption, circling that, measured it just to kind of show myself that, yep, there was a valid trade here if I entered correctly, that I would have been able to get a decent move out of the trade. So that's kind of how, like, I guess journal it. Trading off incorrect area of interest. So sometimes I'll be marking a complete incorrect area. Also did not wait for aggressive buyers to step in after absorption. So I sometimes will get impatient and I'll just enter because I think the absorption is happening. But I often then enter too early and get tapped out because it's actually not correct. Because aggressive buyers or sellers haven't stepped in yet. So I did actually mention that on my footprint chart video, that you have to wait for those to come in. I've been caught out multiple times. Again, it's easier said than done when you're actually trading and a bit emotional. So again, being the first day back, I was just keen to get in the trade. So it even says if I waited slightly longer to get into the trade, might have been a positive trade. So again, measuring up, incorrect zone, entry. So obviously the zone that it should have been marked up with. Again, waiting for the aggressive buyers to come in rather than buying and going on too early. So you can kind of see that here. And again, measuring up on that one as well to just make sure that there was enough movement in that trade. Something I noticed obviously in this day, I just kept jumping in and out. So as soon as I was out of one, I was back in another, which was not helpful for me, obviously, as you could imagine. So this one, obviously my entries here, exits here. Let me just change the setting. So entry was here, exit was here. So I say on this trade, good entry level at previous support and failed to create a new low with nice positive delta. As you can see here, we obviously pop down here. Positive delta obviously going up. I failed to manage my stop correctly. Once I trailed my stop, I then took it back into the red as I was scared to be tapped out. So obviously because of the few losses I had previous trade, I was then essentially just not wanting to be tapped out. So definitely noticed that I just shouldn't put a trade back into the red, especially once it's gone green, and a fair way too. So again, I will screenshot obviously the footprint chart. Down here I've kind of measured up where the entry should have been. So on the retest here, where the accumulation was on this side here, so entry here, realistically I probably would have entered around where that 50 of the aggressive buy order started coming in, and then again I still would have had plenty to at least get 2R out of that trade if I had taken profit. It was very clear that as well there was absorption happening here, and then also sellers coming in on this level, and price held below it, so there was really no reason for me to hold after this point. But again, I just didn't have my head on this day. So entered obviously blindly on an area of interest. No buyers were stepping in, only small amount of absorption. After a strong candle like this, I should be more cautious. Delta and volume was increasing, which would indicate it to continue. A lot wrong with my analysis. I personally think I was just emotional on this trade. So again, as I'm saying, I risked too much as well. Huge loss from my account size, terrible analysis, and after 4 consecutive losses. Also, area of interest was very weak, not a large amount of volume. So again, I think I was just kind of picking them, just kind of get a trade in, which is very unfortunate. So that's a few, obviously, on that day. You can tell there's not too much in terms of my strategy there, unfortunately. I start to get better obviously towards the end, as you can kind of see, even just in the results. So even on the, sorry, let me pop out of that for a second. Even on the Tuesday here, I was still again trading way too much, very biased on levels, which if we pop into one, I'm sure I will see like no good reason for this trade. I still take a screenshot of the footprint chart just in case, but yeah, no good reason for that trade. So as you can actually see on this one here, I go, great trade idea, late entry, should have responded quick to the absorption at the level. Don't be greedy for the center of the zone. Price action was indicating a reversal as well. This one here said, great entry on fade, however, bad management. Stop should have not moved on a fade. So obviously, if you're fading something that's dropping, it's expected to be a bit choppy, and you're expecting it to just be a pullback. And oftentimes, again, because I'm scared to lose, I'll pull my stop into profit like too early, and therefore I'm getting tapped out and missing the opportunity completely, which is only just fueling my emotion for the day. So you can kind of see obviously where I've entered down here. We had absorption, aggressive buyers obviously started stepping in straight after. So I entered here, and as you can see, obviously price went up. I've gone, okay, you know, it's gone up far enough. I'll move my stop, and then I've been tapped out, and it's gone up. So that's another one. Something I've noticed is if I have a trade idea and it doesn't work, or I get tapped out too early, I'm re-entering, and then it could cause a loss. So I'm finding that I'm losing a lot more trades, or having a lot more trades because of that. If I wasn't to be bringing my stop up so quickly, I'd probably still be in that trade. So not only am I taking less trades, losing less trades, but my trades are likely to be more successful. So I'm starting to notice maybe it's because I trade a lot shorter term, or my strategy, I'm not too sure, but taking my stop up doesn't really work for me. Let me know what your guys' opinion is on it as well, because I'd really be interested to hear it as well. So this one, against price action, also no aggressive buyers stepping in. I need to slow down. So again, I was just very reactive on this week after that first day. It kind of threw me off. You can see here price action. Obviously we had the fade, which I traded that previously, so I don't understand why I wouldn't have gone short here. But again, we have the two pullbacks, so the bear flag here, so we should have really gone short here, but I'm going long. And as you can see, entered here, no real reason. There's literally no aggressive buyers in this area at all. So again, that's why I make sure I screenshot my footprint chart, which is pretty handy. You'll see a lot of my tags have no setup in these first few weeks, just because I just wasn't really, I don't know what comes over me sometimes. Like, it's just wanting to make that money back. Just kind of thinking that I'm intuitive. I'm not 100% sure what exactly went wrong with my mentality at all. But again, just got to kind of learn from it. Even just journaling like what's happening in the trade makes me realize kind of how unrealistic I'm being, or just my actions and how they're not really linking up to my trading plan. So it's an okay trade idea, however could wait until spike of volume reoccurs in my favor, and need to manage my stop size, my stop and size better, way too close for a reversal. So obviously I have a reversal trade. It's what I like to call like a failed flag. So essentially, normally you'll get like your normal continuation pattern, and it fails and it continues. So something normally happens when it fails is it'll spike in volume the opposite way, so the way that's not in your favor. Something that I was kind of considering is obviously my stop, because I'm trading against a trend, kind of it's a reversal sort of scenario, that I should be having my stop much wider, therefore obviously managing my size a lot better. So you can see it actually went my way here, but I got stopped out too early, but also waiting for some more volume to step in. So if you can kind of have a look down here, you get that spike, you get that drop of volume, and then it actually starts rising again here on the entry. So again, I probably should have entered a little bit higher and had my stop then below, much below here. So obviously being such like a novice trader as well, I'm finding my strategies kind of changing a lot each day, whether it's very small things, but it's kind of helping whether I, trail my stop or not. It's kind of continuously changing at the moment to work out a way that fits well with me. I know that's silly and people might go paper trade until you do that, but I found that I was successful paper trading, had a completely different strategy, but then it was very, very hard to execute in the real market. So let me know your opinions on that. But personally, it just didn't work for me. As soon as I started trading with real money, I couldn't execute quick enough, maybe because I'm emotional or delaying, or it was just a lot harder in terms of how much to risk as well on the trade. So this was obviously a nice trade, great trade, nice entry as well. Could have been managed better to maximize trading profits. Pulling stop up might not be the way to go for my trading style. So again, this is kind of where journaling comes in handy, because you start noticing, pulling your stop up might not be the way to go if you're trading such a short term, and just kind of letting it do its thing. So again, against price action. So again, I was noticing that footprint chart might look okay in terms of absorption or aggressive buys, stepping in, whatever it may be. But if it's against price action, I found that it won't work. So something I have noticed in the past week is focus on your price action first and then kind of use that footprint chart for entry. No proper signal. So again, just kind of, I notice the further I go into my trading session, the more I'm making very silly trades like that. They just don't make sense at all. So just, I try and slow it down. Obviously I'm using my brain. I'm not trying to obviously not only deal with my emotions, but try and read everything. And it just gets to a point where it kind of lets go, and I just feel like I don't make, like, again, no good setup. Like, I get pretty terrible around that end of my session. As you can see, I traded a little bit better here, still trading a lot, but you can see my risks quite, consistent. I had a few wins there, so it was definitely a lot better this day, but still didn't really have, I guess, like a game plan consistently enough. Again, went against price action. So after this day, I took a break and I was like, look, I need to go back to the drawing board. Something's not right here. So that's when obviously I had this day off. So I spent this night creating a new plan, kind of going back, looking at my trades, what went wrong, what went right, noticing obviously the volume spike. That's when I really started noticing, hold on, the volume is spiking here and here, which kind of helped me work out whether I can use that as another sort of confirmation or way to know to enter a trade, which was interesting. This next day, as you can see, I'm not losing a lot. I didn't win a lot either, but I didn't lose a lot, which was, for me, that was a bonus. I'm reading a book at the moment actually called Gap and the Gain. So basically focusing on gains, not the gap between where you want to be and where you are. So again, trying to focus on this day and look at, hey, look, I didn't win much, but I didn't lose as much as I was earlier on in the week. So that is a win in my books. So I think that hopefully that adds some value for anyone watching this. It's probably going to be a lengthy video. It's probably going to be chopped up everywhere just so you can kind of see, I guess, the important parts of what I'm discussing in this video. I'm not a profitable trader. I'm still a novice trader. I'm still working things out, as you can clearly see. I hope this helps though in any sort of way for those novice traders. Hopefully even just the way I'm journaling, someone might take something from it. If you guys even have any advice for me, if you guys you think you're a little bit more experienced than me, you're doing a little bit better, I would strongly appreciate any sort of advice that you guys have. I'm happy to hear anything. I think community is probably a very important thing in this industry. So Thank you guys for watching. If you're still here, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.